we'll give y'all the hot points of my understanding of what it is during the P. Diddy trial. We'll
Hot
begin.
points.
So the trial began this week, and they've had multiple witnesses already. Cassie wasn't the first witness. I think Cassie was the third witness. In the beginning, yes, his mom is present. I show a first picture or something. But his mom was present, his sons were present, and Cassie's husband, Alex Fine, was also present. In the beginning,
Sheesh.
they
His
had
daughters as well.
prior to, huh?
Diddy's daughters as well. They
Oh
were
yeah,
present.
Yeah,
Diddy's
the
daughter.
twins, right?
And he gonna
Correct.
like I said, you need to go back me up on anything I may forget or anything as I give y'all just a simple quick rundown. Otherwise, it began with two other witnesses. I believe one was one of the security of the hotel where Cassie's assault actually happened, and he claimed that not only did he see some part of the assault, that he was also attempted to be bribed, to keep quiet about it, and he refused to bribe, just told Diddy and everybody to go back to their room. The second one is Philip Cassie, who is a male stripper who supposedly was a part of some of the freak offs. Described that he was part of the freak offs, and of course, he saw Cassie get assaulted a couple of times. This is just describing one of them, where he says, like, he overheard and saw Diddy pop out with a towel, and assaulted Cassie. Something about, like, I told you when you come over, things of that nature. And then described, of course, he recognized Diddy through his voice, even though Diddy's supposed to have a bandana and some shades on, and a baseball cap and a towel in the corner over there. So, he said, like, I still recognize him, but I'm here. I recognize him. This is the part of what supposedly I was viewing of, whatever. And yeah, his name is Daniel Phillips. So, uh, got it for a few $100. Just did his job. He saw everything from Astroglide, red couches, baby oil was used throughout every time it was there, and a whole bunch of stuff of that nature.
The
Then,
baby oil bandit.
then Cassie herself took the stand, which this took up the majority of the brief.
Sheesh.
To give context, people who may not be aware, like she was in a relationship with Diddy, and the incidents that she start talking about start back when she was around 22. She's 38 right now, but started when she was around 22 years old. She began just answering different questions, explaining about freak offs, like there were just these huge orgy events, sometimes lasting up to 40 days, or 36 to 48 hours. There was a job, she saying she needed everything from IVs to different drugs like opioids, sometimes to recover from them, um, suffering from them at different points. And then she went on to talk about the tape that went viral that everybody saw of the hotel assault. And she gave context to that, saying that actually I was leaving early from a freak off to go to a premiere. And then Diddy wasn't happy with that, and the ensuing assault actually happened. We saw multiple angles and aspects of that assault as well. Saying she was leaving early, and he would be violent, hitting her between the sessions, and shoulder. And she explained, oh, yes, when he threw me to the ground, grabbed my neck, my hoodie, dragged me back. Then she just went to other aspects, like, I'd feel numb, sometimes the chef would cook. She often got UTIs from different freak off things that she went into to, sometimes the bacterial things didn't have an effect because she had to
She
go
got super UTIs.
um it was a lot. She was saying, like, I was burning, I wouldn't advise it, even talking about one of her text messages that the turn said, I have a bunch of sores on the tongue and different things. She was open with Diddy about all of this. People also took into account, the viral part of she would get urinated on during these freak offs, even to the point one time of choking on the
They were
urine,
pissing in her mouth.
saying that Diddy was present during all of these. Sometimes he would participate, sometimes he wouldn't. Sometimes they would go through and choose the escorts to be a part of it themselves. Multiple aspects. There's even some disgusting parts saying that people were taking on how sometimes she would get finished on her face, take the male excrements and put it on Diddy on his nipples and on his chest and things of that nature. Yeah, young Reason, I know it's disgusting. Well, so
He was like,
different
this is heinous.
different aspects of that. Then she went
Just
into
growing.
detail. She went into detail just saying, like, she doesn't hate him. Even now, she's saying that she doesn't hate him, which is, I think, it's a bit wild, but just we have different aspects and thoughts about that part. But saying, that when she talked to him and the supposed raping that had happened was one time when she tried to end the relationship, and he forced his way into her apartment in Los Angeles after she tried to get closure with him, and then the assault happened at that point. And she officially ended the relationship when she realized he was still dealing with a lot of these other women like Gina Hyun and a couple other ones, and she officially ended it after that. Then the defense comes along and tries to point out different things, saying that she might have enthusiastically been a part of the freak offs, referring to some of her different text messages, saying like she's already ready to freak off, and she wants uncontrollable, even though she says that at those points she was just saying words.
It's a trained mindset at that point.
She wasn't really there. She was
Hey,
just
she was training them. She was coaching these niggas on the proper way to piss him
I'm only
out.
explaining what happened, not my
Ooh.
personal. Like the defense was trying to
I don't want to be
like
in
you
this
were a part of
around.
it, you were
Last
happy to be
time
there
it was
necessarily,
Rico.
and not no. And she was just saying I was doing most of just dead words. I was just saying that at that point I wasn't even really there. I didn't want to be a part of it, but I couldn't see a way out necessarily. And they picked on the fact that she still doesn't hate him, and she says, I have love for the past, what it was. I don't hate him now, even still. And she hadn't seen him for supposed about 6 years, even until she came into the courtroom. So then the defense, was saying like, picking on the fact that it took him being with Gina Wynn that was the nail in the coffin. And, she said after that breakup, she began dating her now husband, Alex Fine. And people were still even talking about the fact that she had another relationship, even with Kid Cudi, that P. Diddy got angry at because he pushed their relationship for business reasons, but she started dating him even though she was still participating in freak offs while dating Kid Cudi. And then there were possible ties saying that Kid Cudi and the assault on his car might have been because of P. Diddy and other things that, she was inferring upon that. And, defense and everybody was going to the fact that she said Diddy was basically addicted to opiates at one point, addicted to drugs and success, of course, because he told her. And even the fact that they were still exchanging relatively happy or warm messages after the breakup, and even after she married her husband, saying that, I don't hate you, I never have hated you. So they were still picking on the fact that she still doesn't like him now, even to the point where her lawsuit that she filed last November that was finished in a day, that her lawsuit was settled for 20 million. She revealed how much of it actually was. She originally asked for 30 million, and he gave her 20 million within 24 hours to immediately settle with it. It was because she was writing a book about her experiences and the freak offs and everything, and the lawsuit was immediately given afterwards. So Diddy didn't want that book to go public at all, but she says, I can't carry it anymore. What's wrong is wrong, and I was doing people like they were disposable, and it's not fair. And that's essentially where we left off with. Cassie is done testifying. She's finished. She's probably going to go to labor relatively soon. Because
Yeah, because she was pregnant as hell.
So she was doing all of this while being 9 months pregnant, and she could go into labor at any point. So they were trying to make sure she got all of her done as well. And then afterwards, the next person to come up on the stand is Miss Dawn Richard, who says that she saw Diddy physically assault Cassie multiple times. She describes one incident where she says like they were in an LA home and he was saying, "What the frick is my food?" and grabbed a black skillet with some eggs, tried to hit up over the head. And then she dropped to the ground, went to the fetal position, and he started like kicking her and dragging her up to the first floor and heard some glass breaking and yelling. And Dawn still has more testimony. She'll be back up on Monday, but this is just the part where she spoke of on Friday when she was giving her testimony then. And that's where we left off at. This is just week one. This trial may last about a couple of months. Unico Williams have the first crack at it. You can cover anything else I may have missed. Otherwise, we'll let our lovely panel have their thoughts. This is a simple rundown.
I just first off, as we talk about this, I need us to understand and realize and put ourselves in the mindset of what these 3 counts are. Diddy is not on trial for being a freaky ass nigga. He's just not. That's not what this is about. Now, from a moral standpoint and how we feel at it, and all the jokes and stuff we got, yeah, you on trial for that. You nasty. But we have to remember what sex trafficking is. Sex trafficking is where you pay somebody for sex and then it involves crossing state lines. We also need to figure out what a RICO is. RICO is somebody committing crimes and having people that work for them cover and help them to facilitate said crimes. That's what he's under. So when they're saying all these things, coercion, things like that, blackmailing people saying, hey, I got these videos, and if you don't keep on doing freak offs, I'm going to release it. Then that's what he's on trial for, is those type of things, and that's what can put him in jail for life. Like everybody said, bro, you should have took the 15-year plea for all this stuff. People are trying to call Cassie a 304, and I think there are some gray areas in that, as some might say it's transactional. If I do what you want me to do, I'll live this lifestyle. But there's also the fact that,
or just be able to
Diddy, and also there is the fact that man is a billionaire, and if you can blow up Scott Miscuddy's car, aka Kid Cudi, if you can blow up his car and no criminal charges happen after he said that's what he was going to do, if he can touch a millionaire like Kid Cudi, he can definitely touch Cassie, who was in a 10-year record deal. A 10 album record deal. A 10 album record deal, and she only released one since 2006. That's power that he's holding over her, and that's not cool. It's not okay. We're not here for none of that. He groomed her at 19. She had never given oral sex before. She thought she was going into that man's hotel to talk about her music career. And Diddy said, "You want to learn how to give head? You want to learn how to give head today?" No, she came into this situation trying to be a star, trying to use her talents, and somebody took advantage of her, which was Diddy in this particular situation. And my only opinion on this, the facts are, yes, 100%, that is sex trafficking. You did that. There is cause for a RICO. You cannot do prostitution anywhere in the United States except for certain parts of Nevada that are heavily regulated. So it is illegal to do prostitution. So if you are having your employees help you commit a crime that is prostitution, paying people for sex, then that is part of
an organization.
That is an organization. That's what that is. Now, the only opinion that I have in this is, how could you sit there on a red carpet and talking about you love this woman and subject her to this type of demonic stuff, and you sit over here and you watching her be with other men, and the whole time she hoping and wishing that it was you instead, because she didn't want the money. She didn't want the money. She didn't want none of that stuff. She wanted Diddy. It wasn't about the money, and that's what. And she said those in personal text messages, not to trap him up or nothing like that. She meant those words. And any demonic motherfucker that says, let these people bust on you and I want you to rub them on my nipples, put him under the damn jail. That's all I got to say.
What? No, don't put him under the jail just for that. That's perfectly fine.
I don't blame this on Cassie. I don't blame this on Cassie. I don't put this on Cassie. I don't blame this on Cassie. I put this on a billionaire that took advantage of a 19-year-old girl, and I absolutely understand what y'all was saying now, and I was 100% wrong when we had this conversation about this stuff before, ladies. I apologize for that, because I do understand now that there is levels to this shit, why people stay. When somebody's saying, I'll make people disappear, and I just saw you blow up, I'm in the pursuit of happiness, and you blew up his car and nothing happened, what do you think you're going to do to my people that I actually do care about? Of course, I'm going to continue to do what you asked me to do. And I love my mother. And if my mother ever saw some of the crazy, demonic, nasty shit that I ever did, I would know no shame. But I'm happy for her at this point in time that she was able to live her truth. But damn, that's an ugly thing that she had to testify to. And that just show you the level of demonic, potentially Illuminati feel nasty shit that this dude Diddy is on. Take that.
Diddy.
Hollywood Sensei, are you ready and able to give a statement? Otherwise, we will go forward with Miss.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Hold on. I'll DM me right now.
He like, hold on, I got shit to say.
All right. This whole thing is crazy to me. You know what I mean? Because for years I already known Diddy was a freaky frog ass nigga. You know what I mean? But you know,
Freaky ass nigga.
but I agree with you, Nico, though. You know what I mean? This is some, you know, crazy
Next level shit.
next level borderline
Debauchery.
demonic debauchery type shit. You know what I mean? Like it's
No. Before you say
I
anything,
get it.
George. Oh, okay. He turned his camera.
I get
Utter
it. You know,
degeneracy.
some people, you know, they explore with the sex and all that. You know what I mean, you know, they do stuff. I mean, I got you. You know what I mean? You know, you share your partner, you invite people into the bedroom, do all that. I mean, I'm not judging you for that. You know what I mean? Do what you do. You know what I mean? But
Not vocally, anyway.
when you got your girl, you know what I mean, getting pounded out by escorts and random niggas, and you telling her to spread
Rub
the,
their semen on your nipples?
you know what I mean, rub the release of those said men on your nipples. It's just crazy. It's
That
crazy.
nigga's freaky as hell.
It would make you really believe in the Illuminati and all the stuff they say about
Like
this.
that.
Oh, I don't know, bro. It's not
This
that
some
freaky.
Caligula
They
stuff.
fucking
This is
ghosts.
Caligula
that type
level
of stuff that's next level freaky shit that I'm not on, and that I'm probably never going to be on. But
I hope you're never on getting man's semen rubbed on your nipples.
yeah,
Be
I hope
above,
you
the,
avoid that, King.
be above the influence, Hollywood.
but
I had to add some levity. I'm sorry. Y'all were
let
getting
me
real
turn my
serious.
camera on for what I'm about to say next, though.
Oh, here you go.
Oh, there we go.
I can't wait.
So,
This to me, this is real important. You know what I mean? Because you know me, I'm online. I'm in a lot of spaces. I see what a lot of people say. You know what I mean? And this whole situation, you know what I mean, with this Diddy trial, this Tory Lane shit, this Chris Brown stuff, all this, everything that we've talked about today is about to be wrapped up in what I'm about to say right now. You know what I mean? Because I've been seeing it all, I've been watching it all. You know what I mean? Through whatever space I'm in. And it's just the nut ass dumb shit that's being said by motherfuckers that look, and you know, like me, the shit that, you know, this skin color that you see on my body right here. You know what I mean? The niggas that share the same chromosomes and shit, you know what I mean? The same appendage and shit that I do. You know what I mean? The shit that y'all be saying, you know what I mean, in defense of these nut ass niggas is just, it perplexes me. You know what I mean? It perplexes me because
I find it befuddling.
you would not be defending any of these motherfuckers if all these said situations happen to a female that, or a woman, my bad, a woman that you hold near and dear to you. You know what I mean? Mother, sister, cousin, girlfriend, whatever. You know what I mean? You wouldn't be defending these dudes as hard as you do online if it happened to somebody that was close to you. You know what I mean? You would have a different type of smoke, you know what I mean, for you know what I mean, your gender than you know what I mean, because the shit is just crazy because all this victim blaming and all this dumbass shit that y'all keep directing towards black women, like they be putting themselves in these situations and shit like that. That girl, like Unico said when he was talking, that girl had no idea that man was going to turn her life into what it became. You know what I mean? She was just trying to get on. I'm just trying to make music. You know what I mean? You Diddy. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You could put me somewhere that nobody else can with this music shit. That's what I'm trying. That's what
trying to get on. He was trying to get off.
I mean, that's what I'm fucking with you for. And then you expose me to this other shit. And that's the shit that motherfuckers not looking at. I mean, that's the shit that people don't pay attention to. It's a lot of other shit that you mean that you gotta read between the lines and look at the details for real and just stop blaming people. Trying to say, oh, I mean, you could have been walked away, this and that, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, dog. Shut up. Like, you know what I mean? Because none of you motherfuckers at all would know what you would do in this fucking situation. I hate when motherfuckers say, you should have did this, you should have did that. I mean, you could say that because you know all the facts of what happened in this situation. I mean, you know that now. You could say that bullshit, but if you was in it, you wouldn't do none of that shit, bro. You know you wouldn't, because you wouldn't know what the fuck to do. You know what I mean? And like, it's just the situation is dumb. You know what I mean? Because it's just causing a lot more divisiveness between the black man and the black woman. You know what I mean? Which is something that you motherfuckers don't understand. That's what they want. You know what I mean? To happen. You know what I mean? A lot of people, y'all talk about, oh, destroying the black families and all this other shit. That's a part of it. You know what I mean? Making us be divided with bullshit like this. You know what I mean? And you wonder why motherfuckers don't take none of us serious. And men, you wonder why black women don't take you serious. And they say the shit that they say about y'all, and they say we don't feel protected by you motherfuckers. Cause y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all get online and y'all defend
Or
niggas.
why we choose a bear. Why we would choose to be with the bear. Like
That's still dumb as hell.
I
'cause that
said
man
on the
was
situation with the bear, I understood why women chose the bear because I am a man and I know that men do nut ass shit. You know what I mean? I know they do. And I pride myself because I'm in a class of men that hold other men accountable for the bullshit that they be doing. You know what I mean? And I feel like more motherfuckers need to be like that. I'm tired of seeing y'all on these, you know what I mean, using y'all platforms to say stupid shit against black women. You know what I mean? When you came from a black woman, you know what I mean? Your whole foundation, everything, your life is a
well,
everything
Kami came from a black
exists
man,
on,
but same
everything
difference.
your life exists on. It came from a black woman. You know what I mean, unless your mom is white or whatever, but you get what I'm saying.
Yo.
I'm talking about the niggas that got black moms and black dads. You know what I mean? You came from a black woman. Your whole existence is because of a black woman, and you get online and you say this bullshit about black women, and you
I
wonder
always
why
think, how do their mothers feel when they see
they
their
don't take
sons
us
talking like
serious
that?
in 2025. You wonder why black women don't take black men serious in 2025 because of this shit. Because y'all like defending the lowest of the low. You know what I mean? Y'all like it's every time I see, I be like I said, I'm in spaces, I'm in these groups, and I see these posts about it could be a dude beat a woman up or something, and a nigga get into the comments and say some shit like, well, if she wouldn't have, if she should have, like, bro, why? What's the point of that? Did you see what happened? Did you not see the video? Was you not watching what I was watching? Did you not see that man put his hands on a woman? And that's the first defense you go to is trying to defend the man? Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm tired of y'all niggas, man. Like, I'm really tired of y'all niggas. And I'm gonna be honest, like real niggas, real men need to just start saying more to these bitch ass niggas out here that, you know what I mean? Because I'm tired of motherfuckers that talk crazy and motherfuckers and everybody else think they speaking for the majority and they not. You know what I mean? They not. Like, cause I'm not in the same class as you bitch ass motherfuckers. I'm telling you that. Like, we not the same caliber of man. You know what I mean? Well, that's all I want to say. Get your shit together.
Hey, Hollywood, tell them stop capping before they get cooked out here.
You know what I mean?
Tell
Real
these bitch ass niggas stop capping before they get cooked out here, man. For real, cause I don't. Right on.
But don't be letting
I
bitches
was a
fuck
bitch ass nigga at some point. I thought I knew better, and after this shit, I was wrong.
I just want to say I'm really proud. I want to say I'm really proud of you, Nico, for saying that, because anyone that has continuously watched the show knows that when the video of Cassie and Diddy came out, we had a panel. We talked about it. It got extremely heated. It's one of our. If you want to check it out, it's
one
on
of
the
Mom Ray's
YouTube
most
page,
viewed
and
episodes.
it is one of our most viewed episodes. And it got very, very heated between myself, Sunkissed Waifu, and Unico about the situation.
You're welcome.
And I think that it would be shut up, Tori. And then I think that it would be good to go back and watch that and see how someone, because that what I look at is I see that as growth. I feel like that is someone that was ignorant because they didn't know any better. And then the more that they learned and spoke to other people, in particular women, or even like understanding your own situations and understanding like the whole scope of things, you've been able to grow and say, you know what, like, no, I'm not putting this on her. This isn't why didn't she leave? She had all these opportunities and stuff. So I'm really proud of you because I see the growth in what you're saying, because we had that discussion. It did not necessarily go well. We all had to have like one-on-one conversations after that because as women, we felt some type of way, definitely, and stuff. So I just want to say I'm proud of you, and I appreciate you coming back on here and showing everybody that just because you've been in like one situation, because I feel like a lot of men in particular, and I've said this before, when it comes to women and men, I feel like when it comes to relationships or situations like relationships, men are way more sensitive than women. And this is the reason why I say that. When I say that, I mean we've seen it to where a woman will stay with you, hold you down over and over again when you're treating her like shit, over and over and over again. And then you give like a man even the semblance or the idea that you may be entertaining someone else or whatever. And then now they're done, they're heartbroken, it's woe is me. And then every woman after that has to deal with the fact that this woman broke your heart, even if she did indeed cheat on you or whatever. Like every woman has to deal with that afterwards. And I think that sometimes we have situations where I feel like a lot of the men that spew a lot of the shit that goes on online, the stuff that Hollywood was talking about, a lot of these men are jaded. They're jaded from past experiences or lack of opportunities with women or whatever the case. And or they had this one experience with a woman. But women, just like men, are not a monolith. We are not all the same. Every man on this panel is differently. Every woman on this panel is differently. And so when you sit there and you make comments about Black women or Black men as a whole, I think that is not only dangerous, but I think that is ridiculous because you have not met every woman in the world. I have not met every man in the world. I don't say men ain't shit or Black men ain't shit because I don't see it, because that is a generalized statement. I have dealt with ain't shit men. I have also dealt with ain't shit women. I've been friends with ain't shit women. I've been friends with women that I've cut off because of the shit that they have pulled with men and vice versa. So I think that you being able to come on here and say all the things that you said and lay it out with facts and the way that you see things can show other men that just because you don't know it or just because you feel that way right now, like keep your heart and your mind and your ears open. Listen to the facts. Look at it from a different perspective. Take yourself out of like the outsider wanting to continue to spew this hate and say, you know what if I was in her position? What if this was my sister? Because I feel like humans as a whole, we lack, and I say as a whole, lack a level of empathy for others. We have a tendency to only focus on things that affect us. We talked about this during COVID when it came to masks and vaccination. People saying, oh, it's not real because they had never experienced it. And then they change their tune when their grandmother has died from it, or when their cousin is when their sister is so sick that they're about to pass away and all this stuff like that. Or years later, they still have problems with their taste and their hearing and stuff like that. I think that if we took the time to not always focus on ourselves and have empathy for others, we would be able to not only get along, but we would just be we would be better human beings. And so that, like, I stopped all of this because I know it's Aisha's turn. I haven't said what I want to say about this. I'll say that when it's my turn. But I just want you to know. No, it's fine. I just wanted you to know that, like, I appreciate that because you didn't have to say that. You could have kept your same tune from the first show or whatever. And I appreciate you taking the time to do your research and understand, like, how domestic violence and stuff like that typically works, grooming and victim blaming and all of that stuff, and coming out on the other side saying, you know what, I see where I messed up there. And you said that and you acknowledge that. So I just want to say I appreciate you, because a lot of people don't do that. And that's not a men thing. A lot of people do not acknowledge their flaws. That is showing that you were self-aware and that you realize that you made a mistake with the statements that you made initially. And I applaud you for that. So kudos to you, Joe.
Thank you. I just
Next time, don't agree with me.
I just want to stand on business. That's all I want to do nowadays. Just stand on business and stand behind what I believe is right. That's what I've always felt I was doing. And it's been situations where I have been wrong and I can come back and say, damn, but now I'm gonna stand on business. You know what I mean? We stand on the real business. So thank you.
Sunkiss.
I mean, Anthony beat me to it, but I did want to say thank you for actually taking the time to apologize. Because, as I mentioned earlier in the episode, it went so far left. because of certain views that were made. And for, again, like she said, for you to realize you made a mistake and then to come on here again and apologize to us and for how your views were at that point, it takes a strong man to do so. So thank you. Now, this shit.
She had to readjust.
This bitch. Now back to this bitch.
Now back to this bullshit.
I knew it was gonna be some shit before they even got to the trial. Before she started testifying, we knew it was gonna be some shit. Now, for it to be the level of shit that has been revealed to us, that I don't think any of us were prepared for that. Everybody was stuck on baby oil. Now we hear about nipples and liquid. Yeah, no, was not prepared. But that lets you know the level.
The level of freak boy that Diddy is.
Yeah.
He is unhinged. Absolutely, wholeheartedly he was the epitome of unhinged. And wanted to call it a freak off.
You definitely on something.
A freak.
The unhinged.
A 4-day freak off.
40,
Yo, them niggas had stamps.
Crazy.
a 96
There's a
hour
lot of
freak off
Molly
was
in that
crazy.
freak off.
It's crazy.
You holding people hostage for freak offs. Like,
I want to
sir,
bring, but let's not let Diddy ruin freak offs. So
Huh?
Okay, no freak offs. I think the problem here is that like there are levels to certain shit, and I don't judge people for their sexual preferences or whatever. Like some people, there are things that I do in the bedroom that I know other people don't. There are things that I want to do that other people wouldn't be into. Like there's levels to it. However, and I believe that as long as you do it within legal means, you can do whatever the fuck you want with your body, your choice, and that works for men too. Right, whatever you want to do it as long as it's within the means of the law. But then there are also there are things that I don't think that we're speaking of these things just to tell people how freaky he is. I think that it's to tell people to show his character about how he will do whatever the fuck he wants to do. He doesn't care about how people feel about it. And I think that we've known this. Like everybody on this panel grew up watching Making the Band, right? Majority of us. We've seen Making the Band. So if you knew nothing else about Diddy before that, we saw how he dealt with other people. We saw how he dealt with other people. We saw how he could be unreasonable. We saw how he could be extremely manipulative. And he had no problem reminding everybody that he is the king. You are here because I chose you. If you don't do what I say, I will get rid of you. We saw that with Making the Band. We saw that group grow up and then dissolve. We also saw that once again with Danity Kane, which is why I cannot wait to see Aubrey O'Day speak, because she been putting shit out about that man for years, and people were saying that she was just upset, that she was always a diva, and he had every right to drop her and all this shit like that. No, that shit's about to come out. It's about to come out, and it's going to be crazy. So for me, I think that, because I think people are like, oh, well, we have stuff that says that she was into it. Let me be clear. Unico said it. She was a child when she met him. She was not of legal age when she met him, right? Okay.
she was 19.
She was 19.
Okay, fine.
Sorry,
she's 19. She's still a baby. Yeah. I was doing stupid shit up until I was like 23. So
talk about
anyway, we know that she was young. She wants to make a career for herself. She's new to this. Okay. She gets involved. She says, okay, I think I can learn how to suck a little dick to make it that, some of us have sucked dick for less. I'm gonna just say that. Okay. Let me just say that. Like
a lot.
A lot of people have sucked dick for less. Okay. I know people that have sucked off a nigga for just weed, So
niggas get sucked off for free all the time. Hold on.
Okay, I'm just saying that I can even understand her saying, you know what, this is just one thing that I have to give up, but it's okay because I'm gonna get everything that I need. And then she ended up falling in love with him. And then I can even understand falling in love with someone that has sexual preferences and wanting to make them happy. And there probably was a possibility that she was open to some of these things because they were new experiences. She was doing it with a partner that she cared about, all of that stuff. I think that what really happened, which I think is why the text messages, why we see text messages like the way that we do and stuff, is because she may have felt some type of way and was open to trying these things. And then, like the court documents say, then it turned into a job. He was still dealing with other people, and he was having random men pee on her and have sex with her and do all different types of things. And so now this is not what I signed up for. It's not what I signed up for. And so we can sit here and say, oh, she's just mad because he never released her albums and this and that. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. If that was the case, if that was the situation, if she was giving him sexual favors to do that, he still did not live up to his end of the bargain. You get what I'm saying? So he's still in the wrong.
9 albums.
He's still in the wrong. Right. You're still in the wrong. But I do not believe that a lot of this was on her own volition. I do believe that he's a manipulative man. Their majority of the world believes that he had something to do with, killing off who?
The death of Tupac?
You dig?
Tupac,
we have majority of Black people that listen to rap music believe that. You know what I'm saying? So I could even say, like, if I was in that position and there are rumors that he killed someone before, and then when I try and actually have a relationship with someone, he blows up their car and nothing happens. This man is unhinged. You cannot do anything. And I'm going to say and do anything to keep this man happy until I find a good opening to get out. And that is just basic survival. That is basic survival. There are a lot of people that play nice once they're kidnapped or whatever because they haven't found a good enough opening to be able to get out. And that is no different in domestic violence relationships. And sometimes now, especially if this is the first time that you've ever even experienced love, and this is your first view on love, it is easy to fall into like, well, this is how he loves, or, well, now you're convinced that if I'm not doing these things right, he's not happy, he's going to leave me, and I love him, so I got to do these things. People do that even in non-domestic violence relationships. There are some people that have sucked dick because they man wants it, even though they don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things happen. I think that this case is insane. I think that people keep focusing on like, oh, they're talking about all this sex, but that's not what he's charged for. They're talking about this so you can understand his character, people. They're trying to show you that he is an unhinged man, that he is an unreasonable man, and that he is a manipulator. That is what they are trying to show you. Point blank period. If you want another man's jizz rubbed on your nipples, by all means, because I don't give a fuck what you do in your private life. I do give a fuck that it's an escort, which is not legal, and you're doing it with your partner. And then are you testing these people? Like this woman has gone through stuff like major UTIs. Do you understand how bad a UTI has to be, or how many times you have to have a UTI for antibacterial meds to not work?
How many levels of section do it have?
It's crazy.
Work.
It's crazy. Because on average, a woman, there are some women that get a UTI damn near every time they have their period, right after they have their period type shit. And antibacterials still work. So let's say I get a UTI twice a year, just from my cycle or from medication or whatever. Twice a year. I'm 35 years old. Medications will still work for me.
See how you look.
Within this small amount of time, this medication was not working for her. That's insane. I want to pull on to what Holly had said. The rhetoric online is just nasty. It reminds me of the reason why I have a very strong love-hate relationship with social media. Like the things that come out and you're focusing on like the little things or the non-important things, when you know good and well that especially if you're a person, I feel like there's a lot of people that are saying this that wouldn't even do these things themselves. Like I can understand if you're a freak boy, so you don't see anything wrong with half of this shit or whatever. But a lot of these people wouldn't even delve into any of these things. They wouldn't do this to their woman. You know what I'm saying? So, but you're defending this man as if he pays your bills. This man don't give a shit about y'all. I want to remind y'all caping for this man ain't gonna change shit. It's not gonna change a damn thing on the internet. The judge and the jury don't look at the internet for this shit. So you're only making yourself look like a terrible human being. Because in my opinion, this is not a man versus woman situation per se. Because if it was a woman doing what Diddy is doing, I would still feel the exact same way. They are that is a manipulative person that does not have your best interest at heart at all. Like, and then the constant showcasing of her husband and like people talking online like, oh, I know he hate this. He probably gonna leave her after finding out. I know y'all don't think that she hasn't had that conversation with him. She absolutely had that conversation. He has been helping her get through this, which is why she is in. This is another reason why she's in this case in the first place.
Okay, tell him, movie. That was the longest rant I've heard you go on.
No, fuck that. No, but then you got to even remember, like, even the Shade Room has posted that, or where the court documents have said, and it is true that she FaceTimed him while having consensual sex with Diddy. He is not completely like blind to the situation at hand. You know what I'm saying? This is pure manipulation.
That's the real victim. I'm just gonna get to the point. Is the husband is the real victim to have to sit in court and listen while to her look. He had to listen to her talk about how she coached.
No, you do that because that is your partner.
No,
that is
listen,
the woman
I'm just
that
saying.
you chose to spend your life with.
I'm just saying. That's all. I'm just saying. Regardless of whether you've had the conversation or not, to have this be said in open court in front of hundreds of people, then go out to millions of people. Yeah, if he left her, even if he knew everything beforehand and left her afterwards, I wouldn't blame the nigga because that's crazy. Listen, the meme that will come from the fact that we know for a fact that you were on a FaceTime call with your baby mama while the diddler was clapping after a fucking 47-hour cuck session. No. Cuck Diddy.
I understand why you're saying that because you don't believe in the same. But I understand why you say that because you're not a fan of the sanctity of marriage. But when you choose, that is rich or poor, good or bad. That is what that is.
You're missing the point of what I'm saying. I'm saying that I feel like he is going to be. I think in this whole situation, I think in currently, because hopefully Cassie got a lot of therapy behind her and a lot more ahead of her to help her get past all of the trauma. But hell, he might need some too, yo. Because that's like the one thing I kept thinking about, like as like to watch, and she's 9 months pregnant, yo, fucking with your child, talking about how she was coaching niggas, how fucking goddamn the antibacterial stopped working, yo. She had super UTIs, yo. She had crazy mouth sores.
And he still married her. All of this happened before they were married. Some of this happened while they were dating.
No, I'm just saying. Listen, Moonbeam. I'm saying I feel bad for him. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just saying. No, I get it. Like that sucks. That's terrible. I feel bad for him too. I'm just saying that like someone that would leave, even though he knew at least some of this prior to marrying her, because he was involved with her while she was still involved with him. So I just feel like through the good and the bad, like this is someone that he chose to love and spend the rest of his life with. This is not their first kid together. This is their third. They already have 2 kids. So it's terrible all around for everybody involved. I feel bad for his daughters that Diddy's daughters have to sit there and listen to that. His sons and stuff. I feel bad for us that we have to hear that, like, what is supposed to stay behind closed doors, unless you're a porn star or OnlyFans model. Like these are supposed to be private things, and he did not keep it private, and he put her at risk in so many ways. I'm just surprised he wasn't worried about his own health. Like, were they testing people? Is there any proof that he was testing these random people before bringing them in for these freak offs?
That has not come up, and that has not come up because
I need to know, because I don't understand how you have like 4-day freak offs like in this frequently with this amount of people, and ain't nobody caught nothing but a UTI.
I just want to throw a piece first. I want to throw two things out there. First and foremost, I want to say a lot of this stuff came from somebody who is a staunch advocate of Adam 22 being a part of that gorilla versus 100 niggas shit. I just want to throw that out there. Staunch supporter.
Who, you or
when it comes to
Tori?
Cuck, I was talking about Tori. Cuck.
Oh,
No,
okay.
the whole Cuck thing. Anyway, because we all know about Adam 22.
And the thing
his
is, the
wife.
only people that are gonna feel
Hey,
that
if
way
it
about
doesn't
him
make it-
are men that are men that don't hold their women down. Period. Because women aren't gonna look at him like that unless they are not saying.
But the second thing I want to throw out there from a legal standpoint, a guy named Jonathan Oddie, who everybody thought was crazy when he did his interrogation in Miami about how he was Cassie and Diddy's sex slave. Nobody believed anything that he was saying. Cassie identified him on the thing. Guess what he has? A settlement. How much is the settlement for? $5 million. Why? Because they knew that there was a tape, and also he contracted herpes. That's the $5 million NDA.
Yep.
And guess what doesn't matter when it comes to legal stuff and legal evidence. NDAs don't matter anymore. We're going to hear from Jonathan Oddie probably this week or maybe in the next couple of weeks, and he's going to tell us everything. Now, they might ask him what day is today, and he's going to talk a whole bunch of shit about Illuminati cabals with Obama and all this shit. But at the end of the day, when he said that he was a sex slave for Cassie and Diddy, we didn't believe him. And Cassie said, "Oh, that's Jonathan." And she was worried about him having a tape. And he told Diddy, he said, "I'll handle it." And one of the things that was a part of the NDA is that he contracted herpes from them.
Which means he contracted it from someone, that has been in the freak offs, it has herpes.
Well, basically, it just means Diddy and Cassie both have herpes.
That's I mean, that's what it comes down to. But I know they paid $5 million for him to not ever say anything about that.
Are you surprised after goddamn 96-hour freak off?
No,
Diddy
that's
was
what I was
30
saying. Like, are we
Diddy was
testing people? Because
39.
I am confused on how the only
I mean,
sexual
if you already
transmitted
got the
anything
herpes,
that we are talking about is UTIs.
Diddy was 39 years old when he started messing with Cassie. That's not the first time he started freak offs. This shit been going.
I would say this nigga been having a freak off since the 90s.
So let's that wasn't new to him. Ooh, I got this beautiful Cassie girl. I want to start trying to do crazy shit 6 months after dating her.
No, she just got slotted in.
It was six months after dating. That's when he first proposed it to her. So with that being said, that's not the first time. And one more serious thing that we need to know how dumb Diddy is. Diddy is so dumb that when he was putting all those Instagram videos, I'm in New York, I'm ready to turn myself in, just waiting for him. The feds went and came and got him out of that hotel, and they raided him. And guess what he had in the hotel room? Astroglide, baby oil, MDMA, all that stuff, getting ready for another freak off, and you about to turn yourself in for freak offs and sex trafficking. And guess what else he had? $9,000 in a Louis V bag. Why? To pay an escort for sex, to have another freak off.
Because he believes he is untouchable, and people that believe that they're untouchable are extremely fucking dangerous.
That's the T.
That's it. Funky, did you have anything left? Well, we gotta make sure I'm not gonna skip nothing.
She didn't got food.
With that, that's it. And that's just week one. We have many more weeks to go. We part by part.
1 week down, 7 to go.